August is a very good time to be taking fuchsia cuttings. They root quite easily and get well established to survive on windowsills and in a frost-free greenhouse through the winter. Now, all the good books and people like me will advise that you take a non-flowering shoot. Well, when they're like this in August, that's not very easy. Although here I've left the growth on the trunk because that encourages the stem to thicken more quickly. But I could certainly start to take some off now, and if I just break that out very gently, that's given me a non-flowering shoot. Taken off a few leaves. It's quite tidy at the bottom. I might just tidy that up a little bit with a knife. But if all you can find is flowering shoots like this one, let me just take that off. Taking one or two of the lower leaves away again. Then you would need to just nip out the flower buds. Even then I won't have them all out, but most of them will be taken off. And that's a bit long. I'd probably shorten it. Cuttings taken just below a leaf. And while it's not essential, I like to use a rooting hormone because it encourages roots to form quicker and you get more of them. Now if you are using a rooting hormone, you don't stick the cutting in the pot. I find these little foil milk tops very useful to just pour a little bit out. It's quite stiff. And then if there is any infection on the cutting, you haven't returned it in with the bulk of the rooting compound. So the end of the cutting just goes in there, just so it has a little bit. And then I've got a seed and cutting compost here with a bit of extra perlite, and that's just pushed gently into the compost. I would probably put between 6 and 9, just depends on the size, and if it's a very tender cutting, then I would just ease a hole in here first so that I don't damage it. So you can see that that would comfortably take 6, and at this time of the year, well certainly from April to September, I enclose the whole lot in a white polythene bag because that lets in enough light for the cuttings to stay turgid and get the light that's needed to form roots, and of course in direct sunlight it avoids scorch. From October round to March, then I'll probably use clear polythene bags. This would just sit on the windowsill in the office. As it happens, it faces south, but an east, south or west facing window is fine. You just pop that there. Take the bag off every 2 or 3 days, just let the leaves dry because that will reduce the chance of rots. And when the cuttings begin to wilt, put the bag back on, and when they don't wilt anymore, then roots will be forming and you can leave the bag off. 2 or 3 weeks after that they can be separated and potted on individually. And if you take cuttings like I've done, then this time next year, 12 months, you'll have a lovely standard Valerie Bradley or whatever cultivar is your choice. And then if needs be, I can take it out in the garden and sit it in amongst other plants to give a bit of height and colour to my garden decoration.